kind of things that as bettors, it's unfair. Like to me, if a player like that go out, I feel like you should be able to take that team off your parlay. I mean, if you're gonna, that's different if he's on the injury report and you taking a chance, like everyone else. Like, hey, look, this person's gonna be doubtful. I'm gonna try to get an edge. I think they're gonna play. But when someone's not on the injury report and they are like a late scratch, I mean, what was that within the hour, like 30 minutes? Because I feel like I put that game in.
It was 30 minutes before tip-off. We were talking about that game.
Yeah.
And then literally 30 minutes before tip, it was like, oh, Joel's not playing.
Right. You sent it to me and I was in class. I was like, I can just put this in real quick, boom, real quick, boom. And then when I get out, I'm checking my message. He was like, oh. I was like, I don't see nothing like that on the injury report.
I agree. Listen, man, welcome back to another episode of the Friday Night Live. As always, I'm your host, Eric Sanchez, aka Legend of Two Games. Got my main man, the #1 defense counselor in the country, Vernon Brownlee, with me. Vern, I just want to start it off by telling you, you were right. You had the minus 175 for the 9 o'clock start. We're good, but look what time it is. And look what time it is. I told you by 9:03 we're gonna get Will Gordon. Here goes Will Gordon. Will, I'm bringing you in right now. We had a bet going on. I didn't want to tell you what the bet was. I just wanted to see if you was gonna join on your own. We had a bet. I said you would be on by 9:03. I was right.
No. The bet was plus 375 for him being on time. I said it's plus 375. I said,
oh yeah. No, I said Will ain't gonna be there at 9, but he'll be there at 9:03.
I said
I'm on that CP time, man. I'm on that CP. What it do, baby?
There we go. Listen, we got a lot to get into tonight. First and foremost, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. We took last week off. I knew everybody was on be away with their family and had other things going on, but we back to it this week. We got a lot to get into, and we're all 1-0 because we all had Dallas yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we're off to a great start already. The comment section is booming. So let's get to some of the comments. Obviously, we got picks tonight, and then we got a little novelty topic because we want to know from Vern who are some of the best TV or movie criminals / villains that he would have represented and been able to beat the case on.
Oh, by the way, I had the Seahawks cover as well, but I missed my parlay because I took the under at 56. At 56, it didn't even stand a chance.
They were already at 30 by half.
Yo, I was like, is the defense going to show up ever? Like, I feel like it was always like 31, 32. Like, I feel like it never got to like 3rd and 7, 30 and 8.
Yeah, it turned into a track meet very early in that game.
They said no punts. I think it was like the 5th time this happened since 1960. I was like, geez.
So let's get into some things. Will, I'm gonna let you start off the comment section. Hold on, let's get to the comments right here. Kyrie Thompson, shout out to Kyrie, man. He's been like the first comment for the last few weeks. Yeah. He starts off, what's good, fellas? Ready to call Dak Prescott elite. Will, start it off.
Elite, no. Very good, yes. He's got some stuff around him. Like CD Lamb, I'm ready to call elite, but I'm not ready to call Dak elite, if that makes any sense. Like if CD wasn't there, Dak would look very regular. But I think CD, no matter who would be quarterback, will be out there balling. So do I think Dak is elite? Nah. Let me see something in the playoffs. Well, yeah, let me see what you do in the playoffs. And like if the team is in a situation where they gotta put it on your shoulders and then you pull it off, then I might be ready to call you elite. But right now, nah, not yet. Very good, yes. Elite, no.
Byron, what you think?
I gotta agree with Will, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of the reasons why people think he's elite is the run that he's been on. But the run he's been on hasn't really been all that impressive. I think they had the second easiest strength of schedule in terms of defensive opponents faced. Last night with the Seahawks, he played very well. But, I mean, the Seahawks, their defense, I don't know why, but the defense doesn't come together. What we're going to see over these next 4 weeks is Eagles, Bills, Dolphins, Lions. If he continues to play that way, and let's say they win the next 3 out of 4, okay, he's elite. Because to me, elite means you're in the 1 or 2 class. Elite to me is not even in my opinion, top five. Top five is great. Elite is your one or two. Like it's like the two best quarterbacks in the league, and he's not there for me. So he can show me over the next month, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. I don't think he's elite yet. Will, I completely agree with you. I think CD Lamb has answered the call. He was challenged to be a wide receiver number one. They even talked about it yesterday. Richard Sherman said, "Yo, he's not really a wide receiver one." Since then, CD has gone off, and CD has put up Tyreek type numbers over the last 5 weeks. So CD has answered the call. Dak, to me, though, to your point, Vern, it's going to be the next few weeks. It's the Philly game. It's the Miami game. It's the Detroit game. Can you continue this type of play against those teams, those legitimate playoff teams? The Seahawks have been a disappointment a little bit. But up until yesterday, the Cowboys had not beat a team with a winning record all season. That's the first team they beat with a winning record. So I can't call you elite when you've been getting fat playing against the Giants and the Commanders of the world, when you've been beating up on the Jets of the world. Now that you got a better and a tougher part of your schedule, now's the opportunity where we could possibly put you in that elite conversation. So I think we're all in agreement there to answer your question, Kyrie. Not quite yet. And Kyrie also doubled down, concerned about Dallas defense. Vern, we talked about this in terms of the over-under from yesterday's game, so I'm going to let you start this off. Should we be concerned?
I mean, I think the main reason we should be concerned is because I think they're relying a lot on Bland. And as you can see, I mean, Bland was looking terrible. Looking terrible last night. I mean, he could have easily got up 200 yards. One was a big pass interference as it goes against his yards, but he probably pretty much gave like 200 yards of offense. If Michael Parsons is not getting to the quarterback, it's a disaster. So if you play someone with like an elite left tackle or elite right tackle, or just a line or just a game plan that can neutralize him, 35 points is going to be commonplace for whoever is playing the Cowboys. And like we said, if Dak Prescott can't keep it up, he throws a pick or there's like a few 3-and-outs with that defense, it's just not going to be sustainable.
Will, what you think?
Man, I'm not really concerned about the D. I like if you look at the pressure that Michael Parsons gets on the quarterback, he's always like a half second behind. And when that line starts to get a little bit more healthy, I I don't think it's going to be a big deal for them. Like I mean, you're going to have your games like yesterday where a team is going to put up 30 something on you, but as long as as long as Dak and CD and those boys are rolling, you gotta you gotta trust in being able to score more, and you still have enough playmakers on defense that can change the game for you. Micah Parsons is a game wrecker. So we just saw 2 weeks ago, biggest play of the game. He got through and got the sack on. I forget who they was even playing, but it was at the end of the game. You got players like that, and you got guys like what's my man Shaq Leonard. He might be joining the fold. That's only going to help if they're able to sign him to strengthen that linebacker core. So I'm not really worried about their defense. Their division is so weak. I mean, outside of the Eagles. And what did you say the rest of their what's the rest of their games look like, Vern?
Next 4 weeks, you got Bills, Dolphins, Lions, Eagles.
Yeah,
Not
they
next
got
week, but
they
those are
got Eagles next week.
Eagles
Eagles
next.
next week. Yep,
Well, that's kind of a little gauntlet.
it is.
But you know, I got more faith in the way the offense has been rolling, and I think the defense is going to be able to do just enough to keep up with these other teams. I don't see them getting like way behind in any of these games. I think they'll be all right.
I think yesterday might have been a little bit of a trap game for them. A Thursday night game, getting caught looking ahead, knowing that they have Philly next week. DK Metcalf, I think, is a tough matchup for any corner in the league. So I don't want to trash Bland too much. There ain't a lot of top level corners who can slow down DK Metcalf. Um, So I think I'm leaning more towards what you're saying, Will, and I agree. I wouldn't put too much stock in that yesterday, but the next 4 weeks I think will give us a better idea of if this defense is elite or if this defense is more of just names, because these are the best quarterbacks and these are the best offenses coming in. You're talking about Philly with Jalen Hurts and their receiving core. You're talking about Miami with Tua and their receiving core. You're talking about Buffalo with Allen and Diggs. And then you're talking about Detroit, who's one of the best offenses in football on turf, obviously, and that game's going to be on turf. So the next 4 weeks, I think we're going to get a better idea of how good this Dallas defense really is. But I also think that this talk about Dallas being a Super Bowl contender now, and can they compete with the best teams in the league, really comes back down to their defense. Because if their defense can't be a top 10 type defense, I don't think they have a legit chance of winning a Super Bowl. I just don't see them being able to beat Philly in a one-game playoff scenario unless their defense is elite. So next couple of weeks, I think we'll answer that question for us. D-Man wants to know, Will, you're going to kick this one off. Brock Purdy, what do you need to see from him? This week, they got the big game in Philly where they're favored by 3 points, which is crazy. They're favored in Philadelphia by 3. But, Will, what do you need to see?
I pretty much need to see what we've been seeing. Um, take what the defense gives you. Be on time with your routes, and don't turn the ball over. That's all I need to see. He's got so many playmakers around him. When you got Ayuk and McCaffrey and what's my other wideout? You know what I'm talking about.
Devo?
But Debo Sam. I mean, you got guys. Kittle. You got playmakers all around. So all I need you to do is take care of the ball and take what the defense gives you. Because once you get the ball in your playmakers' hands, the rest is history. Because they are loaded. They got a Super Bowl caliber offense. And then what I really want to see is the pass rush of the 49ers against that Eagles offensive line. I want to see what Chase Young does. Oppo, uh, Nick Bosa. I want to see what kind of pressure they get on the quarterback and how Jalen Hurts handles it. I mean, this is going to be this is a NFC championship preview right here. This is going to be a ball. This is going to be a ball game right here.
Vern, what you think?
As long as Brock Purdy has his elite weapons, he's gonna be fine. Him and Jimmy G are the same exact player. If he doesn't have his elite weapons, he's not going to be the same quarterback. As long as he has those weapons, he's going to make the throws. He's going to be on time. As long as Trent Williams is still there to protect him, he's going to be fine. I don't need to see anything from Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy's already showed me who he is. He's Jimmy G. He is fine in the system, and he won't be anything outside of the system. People say, oh, Jimmy G can't lose. Jimmy G can't lose. He left the San Francisco 49ers, and all he can do is lose. And Brock Purdy is the exact same way. He was at Iowa State. Look at his record. He didn't just transform to become a completely different quarterback. And what we saw was a quick snippet, a snapshot when they had a time when McCaffrey was down, Debo was down. Brock Purdy had a game he threw on 100 yards. I mean, what else do we need to see? It's already been shown. So I don't see anything from him. As long as there's elite weapons, he's going to look fine. But he's not a good quarterback to me.
Yeah, I got
who was saying Jimmy G can't lose?
I mean, when he was with the San Francisco 49ers, like all Jimmy does is win.
There were people praising, they were praising that he was just a winning caliber guy. It doesn't matter what the numbers look like.
Yeah.
He's just a winner. But I gotta agree with you, Vern, because we argued a couple weeks ago, and I remember kind of defending Brock Purdy. But the weeks that they didn't have all of their weapons, he looked well below average in all those games. Will, I was waiting for you. I was going to salute. I was waiting to get to that moment, but I saw you.
I thought I missed it or something.
No, you good. But for me, what I need to see from Brock Purdy is just don't turn the ball over. Because I think if he plays a clean game, they can beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And I felt that way last year in the NFC Championship game. You look back at the first half of that game, they were playing with Josh Johnson as their quarterback after that first series. They were down, 13-7 with 2 minutes to go in the half. And for whatever reason, Kyle Shanahan, instead of just running the ball and going into halftime, They try to throw the ball. He fumbles. Philly scores, and now it's a 2-score game coming out of half, and now you don't have a chance because you're playing with a guy who hasn't played football all year. The 49er defense was up to the challenge, to Will's point, and I think they're going to be up to the challenge again this week. If Brock Purdy plays a clean game, the 49ers, I think, will win this game easily if he plays a clean game. If he has the turnovers, if he gets off to a slow start, then I think Philly takes advantage. So Brock Purdy, clean game is the main thing. Fellas, y'all want to talk a little college football? Because Ron wants to know our thoughts on the SEC championship.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
Vern, go ahead.
Watching
Bama, Georgia.
Yeah, I'm watching Oregon, watching the game right now. So it's gonna be interesting. Georgia should win this game. They truly should. I think they will win this game, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout by Georgia. Even though Alabama hasn't looked all that great this season, I think Georgia wins this game between 6 to 8 points, last possession game. But I know the selection committee better pray that Georgia wins this game, because if not, it's going to be a show deciding who the best 4 teams are going to be for the college football playoff. But I think you're going to see a game where it's going to be a blue-collar game for sure. But I think it's close, and Georgia scores late to win it.
Well, what you think?
I don't give a damn about no college football. But I want Bama to win because yeah, I want Bama to win. My baby mama's husband is a Georgia fan, so go Bama.
It's personal.
Hey.
It's personal for Will.
Roll Tide.
I'm a Nick Saban fan. Shout out to my man Trip Young, because I know he's going to be rooting for Bama. So on a personal level, I am rooting for Bama. But if I had to bet money, I would probably take Georgia money line. I just think their ability to run the ball will be a major, major problem for Bama. We saw last week they gave up over 200 yards against Auburn, and Georgia is one of the best running teams in the league in the country. So I think they'll struggle again. Also, Bama's been inconsistent this year. Milroe will put together moments where he looks really good, and then he'll put together moments where you're like, yeah, the kid really isn't ready yet. So I'll take Georgia. And it's crazy. Georgia wins this game. I think they'll be only the 8th team ever to have a 30-game winning streak in college, which is crazy to think about. So that's also on the line as well. A little more college, but it's right up our alley. Deion Sanders named Sports Illustrated 2023 Sports Person of the Year. Does he deserve it? Will Gordon, go ahead.
It depends on what your criteria is. I didn't see that coming at all. I think it's more of I think it's more Sports Illustrated trying to draw some eyeballs to their publication, because it's been down over the last few years. But good for Deion, good for the program, it's drawing more attention to Colorado. And but does he deserve it? Like who am I to say who's the sportsman? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of subjective, depending on what your criteria is. So I would say it's just Sports Illustrated trying to get some more attention to their publication than anything else.
Vern, what you think?
I don't know why he deserves it. I'm not saying he doesn't. I just don't know why he does. And it's because, is it because you beat and you exceeded, expectations of what they did last year? Is it because of who you are, Deion Sanders, high profile NFL athlete coaching a college team? Is it because what? I don't know. I don't know what he did to deserve it. I mean, yeah, Colorado's a better team than they were last year, but they only had 1 win, so you don't have to really do too much to really, improve upon that. So I'm not really sure. He didn't really make any inroads, or he did anything spectacular or over the top, or set any type of historical record. So I don't know what he did to deserve it, to be honest with you. So I'm a little confused.
My only question would be, if we're not going to say Deion, then who?
I don't know the criteria for the award, but you said
right.
person. I mean, it could be anybody in sports. I mean, I gave it to I probably would have gave it to the GM of the Dolphins, the lady GM of the Dolphins. I would have probably gave it to her. The team is clicking. Minority, someone that's pretty much breaking the ceiling, making a true inroad in the sporting arena. I mean, it's a lot of different people you could probably go.
I think to me, I mean, does he deserve it? Is tough to say because I don't want to say he doesn't deserve it. I mean, the light that he shined on college football, what he's done for Boulder, Colorado, what he's done for the sport of football as a whole over the last few years, leading up to 2023, and now being at a D1. How could you say he doesn't deserve it? He shined a certain light. I mean, we talked about him several times here on the Friday Night Live. We never talked about Colorado before Deion Sanders. We barely talked college football. Most people barely really cared about college football outside of the Alabamas and the Georgias before Deion Sanders. So he definitely, I think, is deserving to be in the conversation. If you want to say he shouldn't be sports person of the year, cool. My only question would be who should be sports person of the year then? Because it's easy to knock somebody and be like, oh, they shouldn't get it. All right, so if they shouldn't get it, then who should get it? Because I think he's done a lot for the sport of football and college football specifically. So I'm okay with it. I'm a big Deion fan, so I'm okay with it.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I think that's a fair take.
So I'll say that. Will, I want to get your thoughts on something though, because we haven't got a chance to text the last couple of days on it, but there was a question you posted. Shout out to the group chat for the love of the game. You had mentioned about the in-season tournament, and you were kind of gauging everybody's interest, how they felt about it, what they like, what they didn't like. Now we're into the elimination round. I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on the in-season tournament? How are you feeling about it?
I'm still the way I felt at the beginning. I think it's unnecessary. I think it's a cash grab, and I'm just not into it. Just I don't know. It's just not for me.
I'll ask it. It is a cash grab. We know that. It's a way for them to generate more money. And what the NBA has done is created dialogue before Christmas. Because I think most people would agree that the season, we don't really look at the season starting until after Christmas. Now we're talking about the NBA well before Christmas because of this in-season tournament that now goes to the elimination round next week. But realistically, I want to, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, Will, I don't think nothing's changed really about the game. The games are still the games.
But if this had some kind of weight on the real playoffs, then I'd probably be into it. But this is just this is a church league tournament in the middle of the season.
Okay. I mean, I fair point, because I see what you're saying too. If it was one of the things where like if you win the in-season tournament, it guarantees you a spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, something like that, or it guarantees you a certain seeding or something like that. Then but they're playing for more money. These millionaires playing for more money, and it has no weight on the rest of the season.
I thought what Dame said.
Why do I care about that?
But I thought what Dame said recently was interesting, because I never looked at it from this perspective. He said the in-season tournament and the money is really bigger for those younger guys who are on like non-guaranteed contracts or who are on rookie deals. Because if you're a guy, hold on, Will. If you're a guy, it's easy for us to shake our head because we know most of them guys are making big money. But if you're a guy who's on a two-way contract or was playing in the G League, and you're on a team that can win 500,000, there's going to be some motivation to go out there and try to help this team win the game.
But are they even getting clocked?
In some cases, yeah. You got some guys who are second-round picks or late first-round picks who are getting significant minutes on teams that could win the in-season tournament.
Well, I mean, if it's going to be like that, then let them start.
But that's not the whole premise of the thing. Is that just let the young guys who not making money start? Obviously, I think it's a little bit of both. I guess I agree with you that it is a money grab by the league. They're trying to find ways to generate interest right now. But then there's that other side of it with the competitive aspect, where it's guys who just want to go win that $500,000. $500,000 is still a $500,000.
See, that's the thing. If you reverse the rotation and let the younger guys that aren't making the big money, start, and then you got the stars coming off the bench in like role player minutes, then that's when you gonna see that scrappiness and whatnot where the young guys are really making a contribution. But the way, I mean, they gotta work the kinks out, I guess. But I'm just this. It's just not for me. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Some people like chocolate milk. Some people like white milk. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is.
I got you. Vern, what's your thoughts on the in-season tournament so far?
I think I'm like Will. It's like I'm still, it's just like, how does this change the way the game is played? So I guess they were trying to make it more competitive, or we have, I guess, people not taking it seriously, or a team trying to rest individuals, but no one seems to care. The people that we, want to see play, they don't seem to really care all that much about it. And it's just like, we'll see what happens over the next couple of years. I mean, it's a new thing, but I think I think it's kind of pointless. Like, what's the purpose of it? Like, is anybody gonna talk about it? Like, oh, if you won the NC tournament in the year 2023, you were one of the best teams in the league. Like, no.
I mean, I guess it is a wait and see approach. For me, it doesn't change anything. These are still the same games we were going to watch regardless. Like, let's not pretend we weren't going to tune in on a typical Tuesday or Friday night anyway. These are the games we were going to watch.
Yeah, so what's the point of it?
They just try to add incentive to make the regular season games mean a little bit more. That's all they're trying to do.
So all it is their way of trying to get around making the players play.
Right.
Because with the way the Players Association has it set up is you can't make us make our players play. So they're like, okay, so how can we make them play? Let's
Right.
let's throw more money at them out of our own pocket.
I mean,
That's what it's all about, man.
but
That's
hold on.
BS.
But it's BS. But right, let's be realistic. Then, if that's the case, if we're saying we got to find a way to motivate these guys to play, then we shouldn't be mad at the league. We should be mad at player empowerment, because player empowerment has now created this scenario where the league has to find ways to make you play. It's the reason why you can't make an All NBA team unless you play 65 games. It's the reason why you can't be up for a regular season MVP, regular season award unless you play a certain amount of games. The league already sees that these players are finding reasons to sit out. So now we got to give you incentives to actually play. So should we be mad at the NBA or should we be mad at the players?
I mean, I think the NBA is a league that's going to have financial not difficulties, but I think they're going to see their revenue plateau in the next 5 years. And then I think at that point in time, the players will have an incentive because they're going to realize their entertainment value is going to drop. Like, once LeBron James leaves the league, the NBA, they're going to have slightly like a Michael Jordan issue when he left. It's going to be a sharp drop off. And who would No,
how can you say that, Vern? Because you said Wemby is a top 5 player right now, so Wemby takes over, right?
But I mean, just because you're a great player doesn't mean that you're someone who people tune in to watch.
I know you just didn't call Wemby a great player already. Again,
hold on. What I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, being a great player does not mean that you still capture the audience of someone like LeBron, MJ, whoever case may be. So I think in the next 5 years, I think there's going to be some kind of plateau, especially when we talking about how they making money, the TV deals and streaming, etc. I think they're going to be some incentive because the owners are going to say, "Hey, look, we're plateauing our revenue. If you don't start playing these games, your salary is going to decrease." So I think the problem is going to take care of itself. I'm not real concerned.
Got you. Speaking of Braun, let's get to this question from Kavan right here. I like this. Braun says he'll miss a Lakers game to watch Bronny debut at USC. Y'all have any problem with it? Vern, go ahead.
No. And if Will Gordon said something, the only reason Michael Jordan didn't do it because his sons are too sorry to really have anything. But
now you got to bring Mike's sons into this. They ain't had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, I know.
They had nothing to do with this.
Will Gordon, LeBron, you ain't gonna say something. He's a year 21, man. I already told y'all the Lakers should not be counting on him to be the focal player. How many times am I going to say it? He's a year 21. He's really just trying to go out on a sunset and relax and chill. And I mean, it's his son who just had a serious heart condition. Now they having his debut for USC. It's different if he says, "Look, I'm gonna go to every single game Bronny's playing, and I'm not gonna." That's different. But I think this is something that every parent should do. It's just the situations have come up enough because one, having a son that's old enough to play college while you're still in the NBA, especially at your level, is just a rare situation. I think it would happen more often if the situation presented itself more often. So I don't have any problem with it.
Will, what's your thoughts?
I have zero problem with that. He should absolutely miss a game to go to Bronny's debut. I'm a father, man. Like I miss a day of work to I miss work to for my kids' activities all the times, man.
Point.
And this is a big deal. So this is a non-question to me. It's a non-issue.
I 1000% agree. We're all fathers here. I'm sure we've all taken days off of work for
Oh, yeah.
award ceremonies, for Christmas shows, for anything that our kids have going on. So I 1000% support Braun on this. Also, anybody or any sports personality who has an issue with this, like y'all the same ones that overlook load management when guys just decide to sit out just because they don't want to play. This is a legitimate reason. Like your son playing in a D1 game
Right.
and you wouldn't be there. Come on, bro.
Crazy.
Braun got to be there. Let's call it what it is. Will, this is directed at you. Pooh always taking shots at you anyway, though. She said Angel Reese returned to LSU, had a big game. Just overall thoughts on her return. I know Will doesn't like women's hoops.
I don't even know what to say about that game because I didn't watch it. I didn't watch no highlights. I know nothing about it, fool. Sorry. You know I'm consistent. I'm at least consistent if anything else. But good for her. Did she had a big game? Good for her.
I watched it. I watched every minute of that game.
Did you?
Bro, what was your take?
When was it? When was it?
It was yesterday. No, it was Thursday. Yeah. It was doing the same time of the what you call game? The Cowboys game. Had both of them on the screen.
So what do you think I was watching?
I was watching both. I was locking in on both of them. But I think she's okay. I mean, it's still like Angel Reese's game to me. It's just all about hustling and rebounding and second chance opportunities. So I mean, it was fine. Exactly what she did last year. I just wanted to see this year. I wanted her to expand her reach a little bit. I wanted her to have more of a mid-range game, maybe pick and pop game. I don't see that. I see hustle. I see rebound. I see putbacks, which is okay at this level, but I'm a little disappointed that I don't see more from her.
I think she'll be fine long term. Again, as I've said several times, I think a lot of different distractions came her way over the last few months, and I think it's unfair for us to critique this young woman at this time when everything, all these endorsements, all this money, all this attention is coming at her right away. She kind of had to level out a little bit. I think she'll be fine long term. We'll see her progress to the next level of WNBA very shortly. So I don't have too many thoughts on the return of this one game. I think overall, let's judge her come tournament time. If she's still distracted, then it's a bigger issue. If she's not the player that she was last year and she doesn't have the impact that she had last year when they won a national championship, then it's a bigger issue. For right now, it's still very early on. She'll figure it out. Derek Thompson, he wants to know what's going on with the Lakers. It seems they can't be good teams. They lost by 33 to the 76ers. Yeah, but they smashed the Pistons, of course. Didn't we all say Lakers had the best offseason? Vern, go ahead.
I've been very consistent on my position on the Lakers. I'm gonna say it again. Until they get someone else to carry the load, they're not gonna do that well. And the 76ers don't match up well with the Lakers. The one player that you would need to step up is not going to step up against that team. You have the reigning MVP of the league that can pretty much dominate at will on that team, and then Anthony Davis never rises to that occasion. So that's just a really bad matchup. 76 is just in a different class. Please, the Lakers are not, in my opinion, an NBA caliber team. I told you, I think I think before the season. I did not say I think they were going to miss the playoffs. I think that's what I said. So nothing that they're doing is shocking me. So that's just where I am with that.
Yeah, I don't remember us saying they had the best off season. I did like the Gabe Vincent addition, but I didn't think they had the best off season. I think the issue is what we've talked about several weeks in a row is that there's still too much on Braun to carry this team when at this point it's supposed to be AD. But Will, what you think?
Who had the best offseason?
Here we go.
That's
We
that's
in
the
that
question.
range. No, that's not the question.
Oh, what?
The question is, what's the issue with the Lakers?
And it starts
Oh,
now.
We're about 35 minutes in.
who had the issue with them is Anthony Davis. I think is still not trying to be that dog,
Never.
and also LeBron is still taking on too much. I think he needs to. I think this is the time where he needs to be that true point guard type mentality where you setting up everybody else. You doing way too much. And at this point, it's been the same way his whole career. Except for when he was with Wade and Bosh, he does too much, and that takes away from what everybody else can do. So that takes away from their effectiveness. So and now you down near 40, and you still taking on too big of a role. So I think once he figures out how to take a step back and let everybody else do their thing, they'd be way better off. But until that happens, it's going to be the same old, same old.
That's a fact. George, I see your question. We're going to get to that in a second. I want to remind everybody, make sure you subscribe to the Sanchez Show on YouTube and on Spotify. We go live every Friday night. Tonight, normally what we do every Friday night is we pick every NFL game, and we got the picks ready to go. But tonight we're doing something a little different. George, I see your question about Josh Giddey. We got the counsel in the building as always. So he's going to give us, obviously, his thoughts on the Josh Giddey situation, but he's also going to give us some of the most notable TV and movie villains and criminals that he would have defended and how he would have got them off the charge as well. So I'm going to save the Josh Giddey one for a little later. Let's see, what other one? I'll get to a part of that question, though, because, Vern, I see you commented on it. He wants to know, why are all black people killing Malika Andrews? I hate this woman. Update me on the hate on her. So I'm gonna give that portion of the question. First portion, I'm gonna post it. The first portion of the question about Josh Giddey, we're gonna save. But the second part pertaining to Malika Andrews. Go ahead, Vern.
So Malika Andrews and Sage Steele need to. They're one and the same. And really, what's going on here is Malika Andrews. Anytime that there's any kind of like bad juju or some criminal past with a black athlete, she goes out of her way. Like, it could be something that is past, not talked about, but she will make sure she comes back. Like when Joe Mazzulla was hired as the head coach of the Celtics, she came back to something 13 years ago. Oh, but Brandon Miller brought up what he did. He's obviously they've been investigating. They didn't bring any charge against him. He's not even involved. Brings that up. Any other time, any other black athlete has some kind of past that no one even knows about, she wants to always remind us, and not just because she wants to give us the details of what's happening, etc. But when we have a player who's actively doing something, you don't even like mention it. You don't even report it. It's not on your radar. It's like, okay, like we all been talking about this for like a week now, and you haven't said anything on it. But if it was the other way around, you would have went on your way to go into his past and probably brought out every single person ever talked to and how things were handled, yada, 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 yada. So that's why Des Bryant and all of them are going on Malika Andrews so much. Just like Sage Steele.
Yeah, I think I'll save my comments on the Josh Giddey situation till we get to that. We'll wait. So we won't get into that right now. Any updates on Mikey Williams?
Yeah. He pled to a misdemeanor charge. He was looking at some pretty serious charges that could have put him in jail for quite some time. But they probably looked at him like, yeah, you probably got, involved in some stuff, but we don't see you as this, infamous criminal, and we're going to kill you. So what they pretty much did, like every state has their own way of, I guess, the legal language is how it works procedurally. But really what they decided to do was, hey, you take a plea to this charge right here. We'll pretty much forgive you if you complete these set of conditions. If you complete these set of conditions, for the most part, we're going to forgive what you've done in this particular situation, as long as you don't mess up again. So as long as he does that, he'll be fine. This won't follow him. It won't be anything that's going to hurt him. But Mikey Williams has a bigger problem, which is he can't play basketball that well. So we'll see where his NBA or his basketball career goes.
Yeah, Mikey Williams. I hope all goes well for him there. Very careless decision made by him, but I hope it all works out. I like this question from Ron and Will. You're gonna start this one off. He said, "We only talk NFL and NBA. I want to ask, what's your favorite college basketball teams now and growing up?"
I got it on my head right now. University of Maryland, baby. Growing up and now. I'm a Terp. My cousin's my cousin's second removed. He started 4 years for the University of Maryland under Gary Williams. And my older sister, graduated from there. So like I'm Terps through and through.
Vern?
Georgetown Warriors been really rough. Ever since they lost to Florida Gulf Coast in the tournament, then they lost to, I think the year before they lost to Ohio. It was a 14 seed. They lost to double-digit seeds back to back, and they were the 2 and 3. It's been a rough stretch, but we're still here, but barely.
So growing up for me, UConn was my favorite school at the time, the Rip Hamilton days, the Karan Butler days. But my favorite, I'm not gonna front, my favorite college team is that mellow Syracuse team. Because up until that point, I had never seen somebody come in and dominate that way as a freshman. So it's always
When
there's only
when
one mellow college.
when McNamara the point.
McNamara, Hakeem Warwick. I'd never seen up until that point. I've never seen somebody come in and dominate that way as a freshman in the tournament. As the season went on, he progressively got better, and then in the tournament itself, just dominate. So that to me is always going to be near and dear to my heart. That mellow Syracuse team. I'm a UConn fan because of the Rip Hamilton days, because of Kimball Walker. But my favorite team is probably Mello and the Syracuse Orangemen. Let's see what else. This is a good one from Kyrie. Fellas, do y'all think slowly we're seeing a changing of the guard in the NBA? Curry, Durant, Braun, still top 10. These young boys come and look at the standings, young teams. Absolutely, we're seeing a changing of the guard, but that's expected. The work that Curry, Durant, and Braun have put in stands on its own. They're all-time greats. But at some point, you got to let the new guard come in, and I think that's what we're seeing. Vern, what you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think, wow, great catch, Oregon. They are all Hall of Famers. First ballot Hall of Famers, no doubt Hall of Famers. We don't even talk about if they're gonna make the Hall of Fame. But like I said, Father Time waits for nobody. He's undefeated. It's gonna come. But like I said, I think there's just a gap between them and the new wave. I don't think the new wave is. They need to catch up. They truly do. I mean, I guess Giannis, Tatum. Hopefully, Anthony Edwards gets into that conversation, Jokic, etc. But like I said, a lot of these players now are more foreign-born, so I'm not sure that they have the same connection as the four that you've mentioned. So, like I said, I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens over the next few years.
Will, what you think?
Oh,
hold on. I was gonna get to Derek's question next. Will, you good, bro?
Yeah.
What you think about the new guard of players?
I think the NBA is in good hands. like when you think about like you got guys like Zion and if Ja gets his head right, you know what I mean? I mean you got a bunch of young guys that can take it to the next level. Jason Tatum's still young. Uh, I mean, you got a lot of guys out there that can, take the league to the next level. Especially as far as what the fans want to see. They want to see more of this, up and down type of basketball, and there's a lot of that style of player coming up right now. And if Wembanyama can stay healthy, you got a guy that can put the league on his shoulders. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be all right. I mean, it'll be, we thought when the Tim Duncans and the Kobe's and the KG's were going out and the D Wades, we thought, oh, what's going to happen? And the league is still thriving. So, it's just recency effect, but the league will be all right.
That's a fact. Derek wanted to just check on you though, bro. He said last week he just want to make sure you're good, bro. He said last week you was sitting on something potent. I think Will's good. He gonna make it though. We have 46 minutes. He good. He good. Pooh said a lot of great questions, NBA questions.
Oh, I was out of town, man. I was on the road, so it was a celebration.
This one's for you though, Will. Shout out to Kavan. Will, your Bucks play zero defense. This is what we were trying to tell Will in the preseason talk up, that this team cannot guard anybody. But Will, go ahead, defend Dame Lillard and the Bucks.
Man, it's December 1st. That's what I'm gonna say. It's December 1st. It's early as hell. They ain't worried about nothing yet. They ain't got no worries yet. No, holler at me in March or April
That's
if
a
they
fact.
still looking like this. But right now, they still eating Thanksgiving leftovers. They ain't playing no D right now.
I hope they're not eating Thanksgiving leftovers now. We are week past Thanksgiving, Will.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
I would hope they not.
I'm just saying.
Man.
I'm gonna say this though, Vern, because you and I we always exchange texts on tickets we put out. I got the Knicks beating the Bucks next Tuesday.
You got the who?
I got the Knicks beating the Bucks in the in-season tournament next Tuesday. I'm just telling you right now.
But let's see what kind of late scratches we might get, because
No, that's fair.
only because I'm still mad about that Joel Embiid thing, man.
We got a couple days between now and then, but I definitely like the Knicks in that game against the Bucks.
I got a question real quick
Go ahead.
for Kevon. Why are they my Bucks? When did they become my Bucks?
Come on, put that in the comment section. Let us know. I think that
Like,
everybody saw you defend them so crazy in the preseason. They're like, yo, they your Bucks now. That's it. You rocking with them.
they not my Bucks.
I'm gonna put two questions up. They kind of go together. It started with Kavon because he asked. Let me ask you honestly, what blame does LeBron ever get? And I'm tying that into Kyrie's question. He says, why do we give LeBron a pass? We always like he's in 21st season. I think Bron holds the ball too much. And sometimes to me, he throws the other players off flow. What blame does Bron need to get? Right. So I'm putting those two questions together. Vern, you can start. Hold on. Before we get to that, Kyrie also said this. He said, yeah, because you talk like he was a Bucks fan in the preseason, Will. But Bron, we know he's in his 21st season. We know he's an all-time great. I don't think the three of us would ever dispute that. I don't think the comment section is disputing that. Even though Will is not the biggest Bron fan, I think Will would admit that Bron is one of the all-time greats of the game.
He's 11th.
Okay, we'll agree on that. Why doesn't he get enough blame, Vern? Start that off.
Okay, are we talking like he doesn't get enough blame like here, or is it over his career?
I think I'm gonna assume it's a combination of both. because I will say this: one of my biggest issues with Braun is that it always seems to be everyone else's fault. It always turns into he doesn't have enough help. Oh, this player is not playing well. Oh, that guy isn't this. And at some point, and I've always said, if Braun has the control over the roster that he's had, which he's had for a decade plus,
Okay.
we can't keep blaming the other guys when these are the guys he's wanted.
Well, I can't really just clarify his question. Well, in terms of this year, as I told you, I'm not putting anything on LeBron. If he wants to play, if he does, he's in year 21. The fact that he's playing right now, even at a decently high level, or really, you could probably say even at a high level, is a gift. It's never been done. No one's playing this high of a level at this age. So just start there. His role on the Lakers to actually win a championship is misplaced. He should not be the primary. And he really might be, shouldn't be the secondary person. The issue is he has to be the primary person because the primary person is non-existent. And because of that, he's de facto the secondary person. I think that's a roster construction issue. LeBron James is not a great GM. Okay, period. I mean, I don't think no one agrees with that. And I think the way that he plays doesn't allow people sometimes, at least right now, doesn't allow people to maximize their potential with the team. In terms of passes with the Lakers, I mean, with the Lakers, I haven't. We're not sure what passes you guys want. I mean, he's played well. The one season he had, he was out for quite some time with an injury. He won a championship. I mean, he's had a pretty decent career. I mean, everyone has shortfalls. So obviously, right there, I know Will Gordon's gonna probably take up this. At least it's probably 10 o'clock. So I'm just gonna let him get. I'm gonna let the diarrhea of the mouth get going.
Why doesn't he get enough blame, Will? Go ahead.
Why doesn't he get enough blame?
Why doesn't he get enough blame?
Because he got too many stands. If LeBron had accepted the role of being the point guard of all the teams he's been on, that those teams would be exponentially better. Instead, he takes the position of small forward or sometimes power forward, and still does point guard roles where you have point guards on the floor that are useless at that point. I.e., when they were in Miami with
Chalmers.
Mario Chalmers. Yeah, Mario Chalmers was useless on the floor on those teams because he couldn't do what he was supposed to, what he's best at, which is distributing the basketball. That was LeBron. LeBron would take that as his role. So if you take Chalmers off the floor, put LeBron at the one, and then you can bring a Reza type off the bench to play forward, then you have people in their roles, in their spots, in their positions to make plays. Every LeBron team lacks that opportunity because he takes on too much and does not want to accept the role of being a point guard. If he would accept the role of being the one, and then you can shift everyone else into their roles that they are best at, those teams would thrive. Now, why doesn't he get the blame for that? It's because this generation of fans is brainwashed by the commercials and the highlights. So they don't really understand the way basketball should be played anyway because of the style of basketball that they've grown up watching. So that's why he doesn't get the blame. But to me, in my overhead views, he should get 100% of the blame because everybody, like, I think it's the biggest kibosh in sports history where everybody talks about how unselfish he is with him, dishing the ball and everything in clutch moments. But I think the way he plays the game is the opposite of unselfish. Because if he would just accept the role that he really should be in, the whole team would be better.
I think that's a fair point. You and I have had that conversation as well. I think if he ever really embraced the role of facilitator, he would truly make his teammates better. And shout out to Pooh. Look, Pooh, you kind of already knew what I was gonna say to the panel. Who has LeBron made better? I agree. I don't think he's really made players better.
Oh, Pooh's still in here. Hold on.
Yeah.
I got just real
Hold on.
quick because
Go
I
ahead.
I didn't know if Pooh was still in here. Pooh, you think I hate girls basketball so bad? You see this? You see that, Pooh? Look at my daughter boxing out a girl twice her size. You know what I'm saying? Who you think taught her that? You know what I'm saying? I ain't completely anti girls hoops. I just want to make sure you see that. I was searching for that, just hoping you was still on here, cause you made me feel some kind of way when you was talking about how much I hate women's basketball. I don't hate it. It's just it just ain't my thing. But you see my daughter boxing out that behemoth. Look at the elbow action. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. How you called the girl a behemoth? Nah, we can't let that comment slide. That's a young lady as well. You call it that? He said call it boxing out the behemoth. All right. Pooh, also, I was gonna mention to you, repost that question about Josh Giddey because I don't see it here. So I want to get to that as well. We're gonna get to the Josh Giddey comments in a second. But Will, I 1000% agree with you because I think all the situations that Bron has been in, teams would have been better if he just said, "I'll be the de facto point guard, and I'll facilitate, and I'll get everybody else involved, and I'll do the Magic Johnson thing." But he's always kind of ran from that stigma of like, I'm a point forward. He doesn't ever want to be associated with that. And I think that's really when he's at his best, when he's facilitating, because we know his basketball IQ is really high. The things that he do on the court are great, but he never wanted to be that type of guy. And I think that's kind of hurt him. And to Pooh's comment, I don't think you would be hard pressed to find a list of guys that he's really made better.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts, Vern.
I mean,
If
and
you
that's
disagree, let me
been
know, Vern,
the
but that's just my thoughts on it. I don't think there's really anybody you could pinpoint and say Bron has made that player better.
I'm not doing this with y'all tonight.
It's not. I'm just listen. The council is ready to go. The picks are in. Will, to show you. Look, I created this right here. I got the picks go right around the bottom. I got the picks right there. Will.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
We ready to rock.
Nice.
We're gonna get to the picks. We're gonna put the picks up there. But Vern, before we get to that, again, we do this every Friday night, 9 p.m. The opinionated ones as part of the Sanchez Show. We give you our NFL picks. We get into all the questions, the comments. This is what makes this show unique because we answering questions on the spot. Some of these stuff we didn't even prep for. We just had to be ready to go, right?
Yeah.
But Vern, you one of the best defense attorneys in the game, right?
I try.
You ready to go?
I'm pretty good.
I asked you off air, give me a list of TV or movie criminals / villains that you feel you could have defended and got and beat the case and won the case.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is the client list.
This is the client list. All right.
Okay.
I posted it up on Facebook and IG. The comment section, whoever's watching, name the defendant, name the villain that you think you would have liked to see Vern defend and beat the case. Vern, who's the number one on your list?
Number one, I think I could have got Denzel Washington training day. I definitely think I could have got him off.
Alonzo?
Absolutely, I think I could have
got him. Hold on, Will. Now, Will, this is Will and our job. We the prosecution here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to this. And shout out to Pooh. I'm gonna post this comment. Will, this for you. She said, Will, your daughter's cute, and I give you a dab, at least support your daughter's hoop team. Absolutely.
Appreciate that, Pooh.
Okay, she a warrior out there. I saw that picture.
Absolutely.
That picture was worth 1,000 words. I saw that cracking of a million immediately.
Now, Will, all right, so he said he could have defended Lonzo.
Absolutely.
Right. Now, remember, aside from the Russians that Lonzo was dealing with, he had AI already on his ass. Internal Affairs was on his ass.
Yeah.
Vern, I need to hear how could you have defended him to
Okay,
make
so
sure that
you
he
gotta
beat
understand
any
about
charges?
investigations, right? The stuff that I guess the movie would have shown you, the prosecution technically won't. I mean, as a defense attorney, things that they likely or probably wouldn't have known or been able to prove, right? When you're talking about the money and the things that they were doing on the side, who was really going to come to court and testify to that? Who was? I don't think no one was going to come because they already knew, like, either their hands are probably dirty or they didn't want to deal with the consequences of testifying. When you look at how cops are prosecuted, rarely do you see cops go on the defense and attack another cop on the stand. It just rarely happens. And there's a lot of reasons why it don't happen. So without the testimony of the other police officers or the cops, how were they ever going to prove this case in court? There'd been no way.
So you're saying you would have persuaded the other officers to never take the stand.
I would have had enough information on them to make them testifying not worth it. I'll put it that way.
Will, what you think about that, Will?
He would have never made it to the stand. That Russian mob would have clipped him already before you had a chance to defend him.
But
They don't mess around.
my client not testifying. It's the other witnesses that
Oh, you going? I thought you were defending Alonzo.
He is.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that
his whole defense is built around we gonna make sure nobody else take the stand.
no one taking the stand. No one's gonna take. No officer's gonna come to court.
Alonzo ain't taking the stand.
Alonzo definitely not taking the stand, and no other officer that I guess could have possibly testified against him is not taking the stand either. They would have understood what I meant by, "Hey, are you sure you want to do this?" They'd have been like, "You know what? On second thought, nah."
Oh, so you witness tampering?
I'm not witness tampering. I'm just strongly encouraging to make the right decision. That's it.
See, that's why I keep Vern on speed dial.
That's
If
it.
I'm ever in the jam, that's my lawyer right there. That's my lawyer. That's my lawyer right there. Now,
go that route.
Now, Vern, you double down though. You also said Denzel in the movie Flight.
Yeah.
You could have defended that character and got him off.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
That would have been tougher. That would have been tougher. That would have been tougher. And the reason why that would have been tougher is because, well, it was very clear that at some point in time he had an alcohol issue. Right now, it's I guess based on the movie, we think that he was under the influence of alcohol while he was flying this plane. Okay. Now, however, in the movie, no one saw or no one, at least if I remember, there was no actual test taken to prove that he was under the influence of any alcohol while he was flying the plane. So if the state has the burden beyond a reasonable doubt, what I'm going to be focusing on, hey, look, how many pilots could have made the landing here that my client had made? And then based on those reports, I'm like, oh, it would take a very skilled pilot to make this kind of landing. Okay. Pilots who are skilled, right? Generally probably not under the influence. So if someone's under the influence of alcohol or any kind of drugs, the landing that would have likely been made under that scenario would have likely been a crash, burning landing. There would have been absolutely no survivors. Almost like how your boy did on the Hudson, right? Like, say, for example, it turned out that someone believed that he was under the influence of alcohol, but really without any evidence of any kind of test, that blood draw, etc. Based on the way he landed that plane, like there's just no way because it took too much skill and precision to do so. And that's the argument that I would have ran with. And even if you would have maybe thought so, remember the burden is not with me; it's with the state, beyond a reasonable doubt. And all I need is one, and I think I can get one with that heroic story that I would have been able to tell.
Now, is that what you tell your clients? We just got to get one.
Oh, they get one, baby.
Hey.
We haven't lost a jury trial yet. We don't plan on it, at least anytime soon. And a lot of that is not just because of my skill, also because I convince my clients not to do dumb things. And I think that's part of the job. Is like, I had clients I want to go to trial, and I'm like, do you understand if you go to trial, you're going to lose badly? Like, we got this. Take that. But when we do go to trial, we do buckle up. It gets really interesting in the courtroom. Put it that way.
My man Vern out here, this top shelf right here. This insight you're not gonna get anywhere else.
You want me to talk about Josh Giddey and why he's
so Yes, we're
Okay.
gonna get to Josh Giddey
Okay.
because that was gonna be next.
Yeah.
Because we got a couple comments, and I got the pick scrolling down there. I got Will's picks scrolling down there for everybody who's tuned in. Make sure you locked in. Will has been on a hot streak the last couple weeks. I'm gonna release a record soon, Will. People
Woo!
gonna people gonna be hitting you up, Will, because you've been hot lately. Pause. Um, I'm gonna go back. You gotta throw the pause out there. You gotta let it be known. Um, let's get to first. I want to get to George's comment. Still got the picks on the bottom there. Pause. But George wanted to know what's each one of y'all thoughts on Josh Giddey banging a 16-year-old drama. Crazy. But I want to pair that with Pooh's comment. And hold on. Because Pooh had a thought on the whole Josh Giddey situation. A lot of top high school players in the country not all be sleeping with 22-year-olds in the hood. Men get love for banging chicks, but that's why I put it in with Giddey. So her whole thought was, correct me if I'm wrong, Pooh. You know, a lot of times we've seen it in the communities we grew up in, where the younger females deal with the older guys who got a little money, who doing their thing. And this whole Josh Giddey situation, to George's point, like what's going on with it? I want to get Will's thoughts on it first, and then Vern, I want you to chime in because you're our counselor, you're our representation. So
no,
the show don't get sued and that we don't get pulled off the live. All right.
wasn't he only 19?
Yeah, because Josh Giddey's only like 20 right now. So he was like 19 at the time, I think.
So the girl was 16.
Yeah.
So, did he know she was 16?
That's where it gets tricky.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I was coming up, girls lied to me about their age before. I lied about my age before. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like you. That's one layer to it. Um, I mean, it's kind of rough. Like, when was it supposed to take place?
I believe last early part of 2023. So early part of this year.
Oh, so it was this year.
Yeah, with I
So,
mean
he's already in the league.
he was in the league.
Mm. that that kind of changes things a little bit.
Yeah.
For me, like, why are you even around? Yeah, it's not looking good for you, bro. Like, why are you even in that situation with a girl that could even possibly be that young? Like, you got the pick of the litter at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, not to sound like no, womanizer or nothing like that, but it is what it is. The NBA is what it is, and man, what's his alibi? I mean, like, has he spoken on it at all? And like,
He
has
has
he
not
said
he has
that
not
she was
spoken on
older?
it.
Or,
He has not spoken on it. And I believe today the police came out and said they've hit a snag in the report. I'm assuming that either the girl isn't talking anymore or they have not been able to find enough evidence to proceed. Vern can speak to this better than I can, but
There you go. Not enough evidence. That's the name of the game. That's what we always rely upon. Because it's not our burden. Not the defense is burning. So a few ways you can look at this. From a morality standpoint, people say, oh, she's so young, blah, 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 yada, yada. I think the optics are a little skewed here. I think we see NBA player and we see adult and then we see high school, but we don't realize that really you're talking about somebody that's 1 year removed from high school, possibly, that just so happens to be in the league. Now, I'm not sure what the law is in the state that this happened because nobody even knows where it happened. We know he plays for Oklahoma City, but we don't know exactly where it happened. But let's say this happened in Maryland.
it happening in California.
California. Okay. I don't know what the California laws, but if it's similar to Maryland, which every state has what they call a statutory rape law, meaning that regardless of the age, knowledge, it doesn't matter if you have sex with the person, it's rape. Okay. In Maryland, the age of consent is 16. Okay. So what that means is if you are under 21 and the person is 16, there's technically no crime that occurs, technically. Okay? So let's say if he was 19 and she was 16. In Maryland, that's really no crime. No one can bring charges against you. You would have to be over 21, or the person would have to be under 14, and you got to be 4 years older. So it seemed like he's like in that sweet spot. So legally, they probably consulted attorneys like, well, legally, even if what she's saying is true and what he's saying is whatever, there's not really much of a crime here. But like I said, I really think the problem is we see this as an NBA player. And we think NBA player. And I thought 10 times, I was like, hey, he's probably like 23. I was like, oh, Josh Giddey's only 20. And you think high school, oh, she's young, but oh, she's 16, maybe even 17 at this point in time. So it's like, I think people are blowing up a little bit more than what it needs to be done. Still, Malika Andrews, I still say, because she definitely would have, because Malika Andrews, in my opinion, would have probably blew it up without doing any research on any investigation if the person was black, to be honest with you. But the Josh Giddey situation, I think what needs to happen is they need to have an ESPN legal analyst come on and say, look, in this situation, the following could have occurred and following could have happened. Regardless of what happened, legally, it was okay. That's all they need to say. Because it was the state of Maryland, there is crime.
Yeah, I think that's where it gets tricky because the headline has been NBA player.
Right.
And so the assumption is that he's older than what he really is.
Right.
And so when you peel back the layers and you really look at it, you say, all right, he was 19. Again, this is from what I've read. So I'm not going to assume to know.
Yeah.
He was 19. She was 16. In most cases, we would not even make a big stink about that.
No.
But because he's an NBA player, there now has become this negative aspect attached to it, like, oh, that he must be much older. He must be taking advantage of her.
Right.
And to something that Will said earlier, we don't even know if the girl was truthful about her age to him.
Right. We don't.
So there are a lot of layers to peel back here. I think that the quick reaction of like, oh, well, he should be suspended or he shouldn't be able to play, I think it's inaccurate because we don't know all the details of what was discussed in this situation or how they even met or if it was.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, where did they meet?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think
because
social
if she was, like, say it was like a bar or something.
Right.
Like, what's she doing in there anyway? How'd she get in?
Right, and that's why I say like there's a lot of layers to this that I think people are quick to judge on purely because the headline is NBA player. This kid got into the NBA at 18 years old.
Right.
So there are a lot of people he's probably meeting that are closer to his age range than we realize. We're assuming that because he's an NBA player, he's in his 20s.
Right.
And he's much older than everybody else that he's meeting, when that's not really the case. He's 20 years old now. According to this investigation, he was 19 at the time of the alleged hookup.
Right. And not only that, 2 years ago, he was in high school. His friends are in high school.
Right.
When I went to Boozer University, I still had a lot of friends who were in high school. My brother was 2 years younger than me. So I still knew all of his friends that were in high school. So it wasn't like high school or hanging out with high schoolers was so far removed. Now, it would be weird now if I was hanging out with high schoolers. I'd be like, why the hell are you hanging out with high school? You don't know. That's different. But he was literally a year removed from high school. I mean, what are we doing? Like I said, when people don't, like I said, I think Will brought us up. People don't like to think critically about situations. They just say, oh, well, he's in the NBA. He should be this way. And he shouldn't be messing with her. But it's like,
because the headline becomes NBA player.
Yeah.
And people, right, people detach the age and automatically assume you're much older, but they forget this kid coming from Australia was in the league at 18 years old.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that the people he was hanging around was still high school age, because in most cases at 18, 19 years old, some of your friends are underclassmen. They're people who are still in high school.
Because you can't hang out with people who are 21 yet, because guess what? They're getting in bars. You don't got the ID to get in. So your real age range when you're in that 18, 19 period doesn't really doesn't really pierce the ceiling of 21 yet, because everywhere they going, you need an ID to say
Right.
Really
So
care who you hang out with on the upper echelon.
right, and this is one of the things that Trip Young and I spoke about on Sunday. Like, I'm not gonna be quick to like crucify the kid, because at the end of the day, like, we don't know the circumstances of how he even met this girl.
Nope.
Like, was she truthful about how old she was, or did she portray herself to be a little older? You know, and so there's a lot of layers to it. But in the state of California, the age of consent is 16. If she was 16 and he was 19, as you mentioned, Vern, I don't think there was much of a crime that was really committed there.
It wasn't.
But it sounds worse because he's an NBA player.
Right.
And also, I want to say this too. I saw a lot of people posting the whole, oh, the league suspended Kyrie for a movie, but they not suspending Josh Giddey. Let's be clear and let's remind everybody, the league gave Kyrie multiple opportunities to clarify his post about the movie before he was suspended. He was not just suspended for posting a movie. He was suspended because he doubled down on his take about the movie that he posted. So I think there's a difference there as well. But I'm sure we'll get more questions about that. Vern, you have more clients on the list.
Oh yeah.
One specifically I want to get into. Young Thug.
Oh, please, yo, what? All right, hold on. Let me tell you. Look, a few things that you should never do as a defense attorney is what we are currently witnessing this Young Thug trial. Young Thug attorney tells everyone that his song "Pushing P" stands for pushing prosperity, and then Young Thug stands for thoroughly something under God. Like, trying to make him seem like he's this.
I think thoroughly hustling under God or something like that.
Yeah. Like he's like this better than thou person with all these tattoos in his face. And I don't understand why he's doing it, because all he has to say in the position I would take is say, look, you're going to hear a lot of things about rap lyrics or y'all doing this trial. My client doesn't live this lifestyle. He's an entertainer. He gets paid to come up with lyrics that people enjoy and want to hear and they want to listen to. That does not mean that he is this person in real life. You're not going to hear this. That's how I would have went about it, instead of trying to make up things that aren't true. The first line on Pushing P is, "We not here for P." Okay? Like, the lyrics in the trial are going to come out. They've already had a motions hearing, where motions hearings mean that you decided a certain issue. That the lyrics for him songs can be played. So they're going to hear the lyrics. So when they hear the lyrics about him killing the fucking bitches and stuff like that, what's the attorney going to say then? It just makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me.
What are your thoughts on rap lyrics being able to be used in court proceedings?
Very interesting. So I think, so the way that the law is written is, you just can't use any rap lyrics. You got to use they can use the rap lyrics if the lyrics are close enough to the evidence that might be presented, or is there some kind of tie or attenuation. So let's say there's a rap lyric saying, "Hey, I met you on the block and I shot you in the head 3 times. You dead. And then my boy came, cleaned you up, and dumped you in the trash can, and da da da." And let's say the facts, the actually what happened was the dude was actually shot 5 times, and then someone dropped him off at the the landfill, whatever case may be. If there was some rap lyrics that shows that, I might be able to get those in, because they're technically, even though they're rap lyrics, they're really getting them in under what they call an admission of guilt. So that's where the argument comes in. And the lawyers argue that, hey, this is entertainment value, there's no attenuation. And then they're arguing, well, yeah, it is. It's so close to this. What are the odds that someone rapping about this exact scenario actually happening? So that's really what's happening, what's going on here. Apparently they were rapping about things that actually happened. Stupid, but there we go.
Yeah, that seems to be the norm nowadays as well. What other clients you think you could have successfully defended?
So I kind of want to. Well, that was a very long show, so I won't go there. But But people seeing the Professor Money Heist. Now, I think he would have been probably my most difficult client. And the reason why I say that is because he was so entangled in so much stuff and so much business. But sometimes the more entangled you are, the easier it is to defend you because you're so far away from the situation. Your hands aren't tied. Now, the professor had a crazy dilemma because he had a lot of people witnessing what he was doing, what was going on, and what was happening. Okay. However, I guess the main witness or the main person that could testify against him was a lady who actually flipped and went from being on the police side to being his confidant. So in terms of the evidence they would have to prove a conspiracy, I mean, the agreement between all of those people to rob a bank, which was in the Bank of Spain. And quite frankly, if you look at how the evidence was presented, he is so far away from the scene or the action that the evidence against him would have been kind of sparse, in my opinion. Now, would I have been able to get him off of everything? No. But in a case like this, I wouldn't be trying to get him off of everything. I'd be trying to get him off the top count that would have sent him to jail for life, which would be they would have to prove that there was an agreement between these people. And remember, the way that they set this up was, and why it was so hard for them to catch him was there was really no paper trail of what they were talking about, what they were doing, right? There was no emails or text messages or anything like that. And to prove a conspiracy, you got to prove that there was an agreement between one or more persons to do an illicit activity. And really, they don't really have anything. Like his voice was disguised. All people that he was in the pretty much the heist with died or passed away. So there's really no paper trail. So I think from that standpoint, I would have been able to successfully defend him on the conspiracy aspect. On other things that we would have had to deal with at trial, but from the conspiracy aspect to commit a bank robbery, I think I could have been successful just because they didn't leave much of a paper trail to show that an actual conspiracy existed.
Okay, makes sense.
It would have been tough though. It would have been very.
Who are you just talking about?
Have you ever seen Money Heist, Will?
No.
Okay, well, you got to see Money Heist.
It's a show out there.
Good show.
Before we wrap up, Will, let me get your 401k pick of the week.
Ooh.
I got your picks up on the screen right now.
I think my 401k is going to be the Dolphins over the Commanders. I think they're going to probably double them up this weekend. I can see them putting up like 48 to 17.
Jesus.
Vern, what you think, Vern?
You know, 401k pick of the week. I gotta agree with Will, man. I just don't see a scenario in which we win this game. Because even if our offense can keep up, score points, our defense is just bad. Like I don't like you know how the Cowboys didn't punt. I don't know how the Dolphins are going to punt. Like what is going to make them punt the ball? Who is going to make them punt the ball?
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill,
Tyreek gonna have about 3 touchdowns.
I saw a tweet today where the dude said the Dolphins land in Dulles Airport, which is about 2 miles away from the training practice facility. They said at any point in time after they leave that, will any other commander DB be closer to them at that point in time than when they land at the field? And I agree with them because I think Tyreek, I just don't see it. Like we've been watching it all year, explosive plays, and they getting Arcane back this week. Oh my goodness!
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like that one a lot, but I'll take a different game then, just to mix it up. Chargers at New England.
Oh yeah.
Chargers -5.5. That's gonna be a blowout. Patriots don't know who they're starting at quarterback. The Chargers are the first team in NFL history, I believe, that in back-to-back games they've only given up 10 points and still lost both those games. That's how bad their offense is.
I thought Herbert was really great. Hold on. Eric, Herbert is not like the future first ballot Hall of Famer. You saying
no, he does not look like a first ballot Hall of Famer right now.
Quarterback, Eric? Oh, okay.
He does not look like a first ballot. But I do expect the Chargers to put up at least 28 points in this game. So when you're talking about a Patriots team, when Jabril Peppers is handshaking guys after the game and say, "Yeah, we ass right now,"
Yeah.
because that's what he said to Saquon Barkley after they lost to the Giants. This is going to be a blowout. The Chargers are going to blow them out. The Patriots don't know who's playing quarterback for them. The Patriots have no weapons. I like the Chargers. So that's our 401k pick of the week. Miami, Chargers. Vern, you and I got to talk off air. We got to put a ticket together with those two teams. I think it's going to be something special.
Yeah.
Let's go around the horn. Will, before we wrap up, give me a final thought.
This is a week where I really need the Chargers to actually lose.
Sure, we ain't gonna have
Brandon Staley keeps doing enough to keep his job that he does not deserve. And I think a loss against this Patriots team that has no vision, no guidance, and no way right now, I think might be the final straw. It look like the final nail in his coffin if we lose this game. I want him out of here. I hate to root against my team, but it's a lost season at this point anyway. Go Patriots.
Wow. Vern, final thought.
Sayonara, Jack Del Rio. I'm just glad to see him gone. I understand that having him probably increases our odds of having a top 3-4 pick because you just can't get worse than Jack Del Rio. Honestly, Eric, if I went to the sideline, put my headset on it, and wore a blindfold, I could do the exact same thing Jack Del Rio did. So it doesn't get worse. But I'm just glad he's gone because I just hated seeing him on the sideline. Just hated seeing him on the sideline. So sayonara, Jack Del Rio. Better times ahead for us, Commanders. This was a lost season already. We already knew that this season was just about getting Dan Snyder out of here and starting over.
Real quick, part 2. Shout out. I heard some rumors through my sources. Shout out to Byron Leftwich, who I'm hearing is about to join the Colorado staff as offensive coordinator.
Oh.
I don't know if that's solid, but that's what I've been hearing. And I think that'd be a nice move for that program.
Listen, I think that would be a really good move for that program, but they still got to get O-line help. They had 2 young men who were originally committed change their mind this week. So I think Dion's got a lot of work to do. But if you can bring in a Byron Leftwich, I think it would be amazing for Shador. Let's go around the horn real quick. Do you think Shador comes out this season into the draft?
No.
Burn.
No, he doesn't come out this season. I think he wants to, play with actual D1 offensive linemen to really show his stuff. I think Shador Sanders would be, in my opinion, if I'm drafting, Shador Sanders is QB1 this year. He's QB1 next year. I think Shador Sanders is the best quarterback in college football. So, even with all that said, I think he still goes back. I think he probably made an agreement with his dad that, hey, look, I need you for 2 years here. At least show me, stay here. Because if they have a successful season, they'll be able to recruit because they'll be able to bring the pipeline in. So I think he stays one more year, and then next year he'll be the consensus number 1 overall pick.
Well, what you think?
Yeah, I think he stays. There's no sense of urgency for him. It's not like he's hurting for, trying to get his family out the hood or something like that.
Right.
I think he stays.
I think he stays. 1, money's not an issue. He's making a lot of NIL money, but 2, because the second half of their season was so bad, it really hurt his draft stock. There was a point where you could make a legitimate argument that Shador was going to go top 10. Now I think you would be hard pressed to find somebody who would draft him in that top 10.
I would draft number 1.
Yeah.
What the?
I don't know about drafting
this year.
1. Yeah, I don't know about drafting number 1.
Absolutely.
I'm taking I'll take Harrison over him.
Well, I'm talking about quarterbacks. I'm talking about number 1 quarterbacks.
Even quarterbacks, I don't think
Williams is trash.
But I don't think you take him over the kid May from North Carolina.
May is not.
I'm just and
I get you. I know what GMs would do. Oh, he's out of bounds.
And I like Shador. There's nothing against Shador, but when
He's
you
out of balance though.
when you endure the type of losses that they endured through the second half of the season, it's very difficult to take that quarterback number one. So I think him going back to Colorado, improving his stock, let the offensive line get better around him,
Yeah.
will only help him. And then to Will's point, you're not pressed for the cash, bro. You got a crazy NIL deal already. Like you out here making more money than some NFL players. So ain't no rush. You come back, let your dad put a better O-line around you. If Byron Leftwich is the guy, a pro-style offense that now allows the NFL teams to show, hey, look what I can do, only benefits you. So you improve your draft stock.
His default accuracy is just
No, I think Shador is amazing. I think there's a couple throws this year that you can highlight, and I've talked about this, especially early in the season. Some of his throws going left, where he's rolling out of the pocket going left and still throwing accurately, are elite levels type stuff.
I'm just honestly shocked that he's not faster considering who his dad is. That's the only thing that surprises me. Like, I'm not saying he should be back, but I just
He's
feel
not
like
the athlete. He's not the athlete his dad was.
I still think he's a little raw.
a little bit faster. Just like to be honest with you, I was faster than Shador Sanders in college. Like, it's just like knowing who his dad is, he should at least be a 4.7 guy. I don't think
he's not an athlete. He's really not. I think one of the best things his dad ever did was have him work with Tom Brady all those offseasons.
Yeah.
Because he's not the athlete that we would assume him to be because of who his dad is and his genetic.
It's crazy. Like,
Shiloh's a crazy athlete, though. I think Shiloh's going to be one of them guys when Shiloh gets to the next level where he's going to be like a hybrid safety.
okay.
Because Shiloh can cover, Shiloh can play the safety position. He's a big hitter. But obviously, Shador gets all the press because he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
But if you look at Shiloh, they like to play Shiloh in the slot. They like to play him at safety because he's a guy who's willing to engage in the tackle. He's not like a finesse secondary guy. He likes to hit.
Right.
So Shiloh's the guy I think at the next level is going to be interesting to see how he gets used. Shador is a true pocket passer. He got to be in the right situation, I think. But
we draft him next year. Sam Howell doesn't work out. So.
Well, I think Will Gordon and I, if there was a bet on FanDuel, Will Gordon and I would have placed it a year ago because we knew Sam Howell wasn't the guy. We knew that already.
I think he is the guy.
He's not the guy. He's not. He's Jameis Winston. He's just white.
Oh, come.
Yo, that's a great comp.
You know,
that's a great comp.
You know what's crazy? If I had to take Howell with his
that's a great comp.
Or Justin Herbert, I'm taking Sam Howell.
He's Jeremiah Winston.
You're bugging. There's no way. And I'm critical of Justin Herbert as well. There's no way you could tell Sam Howell is not even on the same level as Justin Herbert.
Why isn't he?
They're not the same. Stop.
Why is
the type of throws that Justin Herbert can make?
Okay, Sam Howell
is not even comparable. Sam Howell is a low-level gunslinger.
Okay.
Low level.
Remind me, just jog my memory. I just saw Sam Howell play at his home. Was that Sunday night? It was him, right? It was number 10. It was Herbert. Was it him? Or if it wasn't him, somebody remind me, tell me who it was. Okay. Because I saw him playing, and he didn't look, explain to me what was I seeing that was impressive. Just tell me what I seen.
No, he's had a bad season. He's had a down season.
Okay,
the talent is still the talent. You would take Justin Herbert 10 times out of 10 over Sam Howell. Let's not do that. Come on.
Justin Herbert has been declining as a quarterback since his rookie year. That's real.
You're only saying that because as a Commanders fan. No, hold on, Will. I got you. You're only saying that because as a Commanders fan, y'all fucked up and y'all took Chase Young over Justin Herbert.
I'm glad we didn't take Justin Herbert. The worst thing you could be is pay a quarterback who can't win.
So you rather take Chase Young, who now y'all traded, who's not even on the roster, who never
for a bag of Funyuns.
Who never produced to the level of where you drafted him.
Because guess what? We still have the room to find the guy. The worst thing you could do in the NFL is to pay a quarterback who cannot win.
Y'all been saying that since y'all had Kirk Cousins. Huh? Y'all been saying that since y'all had Kirk Cousins.
Cousins not the guy either. He's not the guy.
But when y'all was paying
Wait, hey Vern, hold up. You do know since Justin Herbert's been starting for the team, they've scored 1,504 points and giving up 1,507 points.
Okay, I don't give a damn. Justin Herbert.
So wait, no. So is Justin Herbert supposed to play linebacker or something?
No one says that.
Is he supposed to play D line? Is he supposed to play in the secondary?
Make the plays when you need him to make the plays. He was up 27-0 in the last 12 games. They lost that game. He doesn't make.
You're right.
It's not about the stats. It's about when you need Justin Herbert to make a drive. You need him to make a throw. He does not show up.
Cool.
The same way. So to me, if you're paying a quarterback $200 million to do that, that is the worst position you could be in the NFL.
Cool.
So if you get a 27-point cushion, it's on him to not give up,
not make any throws,
more points.
He made no throws in that game.
Cool. All that is cool. All that you're saying is cool. Bottom line, today, you're telling me you would rather take Sam Howell.
I would take Sam Howell in this situation versus over Justin Herbert. Absolutely. And if
you just lost all credibility right there.
Offensive line, you're talking about defense. We had the worst defense in the league right now. Let's not even start there. Because to be honest with you, we should have beat the Philadelphia Eagles twice, and we should have beat the
Eagles. We're not talking about what the Commanders should have did. We're talking about who would you rather have as your quarterback today? Yeah,
you got to go out tomorrow. Tomorrow you got a game.
We have to win a game.
Who you want under center?
Oh, do I got to look pretty in the game? Do I got to look pretty in the game, or do I got to win the game? Let me know.
To win the game.
Either because Sam Howell.
When Sam Howell won?
4-8. He's 4-8 as a starter.
Yeah, when he won?
So don't tell me.
His defense sucks. He literally had.
No. You're deflecting.
What?
Tomorrow, you got a game tomorrow. You got to win tomorrow. I give you Sam Howell. No. I give you Sam Howell. I give you Justin Herbert. Pick one for tomorrow's game.
I'm taking Howell. Oh, yeah.
You're taking a guy who's 4-8.
Yes, I am.
And has as many interceptions as touchdowns.
Justin Herbert's 4-8.
Didn't Justin Herbert win 10 games last year as a starter?
Justin Herbert's a bum. We're talking about right now. Justin Herbert is a bum. A bum.
So and Sam Howell's not
10 points against the Ravens at home on Sunday night at his turf.
The Ravens might be the best team in the AFC.
I don't care. They don't 10 points. He has a great offensive line. He has offensive weapons. Sam Howell has no offensive line. The times when he was protected, he put up 29.
Wait a minute. See, that's how I know you don't know my team.
You see the Broncos?
We got 2 offensive linemen out.
You see the Broncos game? He has protection. He has time to throw the ball. He's not like Sam Howell.
We have 2 offensive linemen out.
He can get in sacks. His line is the worst league line pass protection in the entire league.
I think everything about Justin Herbert is way better than Sam Howell.
Oh, you can say all that stuff for wins.
There's not one thing Sam Howell's better at. Not one thing.
If you want to look at numbers, Justin Herbert is. I just looked it up real quick. 20 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Sam Howell is 18 touchdowns to 13 interceptions.
Whoa.
Sam Howell is not on the same class as Justin Herbert. He's not. Come on, Vern. You know he's not. Now, hold on.
Look. It was a debate I saw online today that was saying is Sam Howell playing better than Heineke did last year. And you talking about Justin Herbert, man? Get out of here with that bullshit, man.
I'm just saying, if you want to say that Justin Herbert has underperformed, I agree with that. I've said that several times. Justin Herbert has underperformed. He's had moments late in games where he could have led them to victory and he didn't. But to say
if the Chargers are a more talented team, better offensive line, why does my quarterback have just as many wins than their quarterback? Why? Why is that? If you're going to tell me Justin Herbert is better than
all right, so can I ask you this? Does your quarterback play in a softer division?
I'm sorry. We played the best team in the NFL twice, the Philadelphia Eagles. And according to some people, we played the Cowboys as well. We played also the Buffalo Bills at the time when they was on a hot streak. I mean, we played decent teams. So what I'm saying is that if you're gonna convince me that Justin Herbert is so much better than Sam Howell, explain to me why with a better defense, better offensive weapons, and a better offensive line, they both have the same amount of wins. You cannot. And the reason why you cannot is because everything Justin Herbert.
So these are hold on. These are the teams that the Chargers have played that have a winning record.
Okay.
They played the Dolphins.
Okay.
Who's about to blow your doors off this weekend?
They played the Cowboys.
Okay. We played them
They
too.
played the Chiefs.
Okay.
They played the Packers. They played the Ravens.
Okay.
That's 5 teams I just named to you that are legitimate winning teams with playoff records.
You want to go by my list? You want to? We played the.
So let's go over to the Redskins. Commanders. Sorry, let's go to the Commanders.
Right.
And within your division, you got the 2 games against Philly, right?
Yep. We got one against the Cowboys.
You played Buffalo.
Yep.
You played Philly
Twice.
So that's 3.
Cowboys.
Play the Cowboys. That's 4. You play the Seahawks. That's 5.
Okay. Where we at?
You're 4-8.
Okay. So we're the same. What I'm saying is, why you cannot convince me that this guy with a better, like I said, with the Philly games, at least one of them should have been a win. We literally put up 30-something points, game-winning drives, and the defense gives up a touchdown in like 30-something seconds. The Seahawks was the same way. We could have had even an extra win. Sam Howell was engineering drives to put us in position. Our defense is literally 32nd. The line is 32nd in pass protection, and I got the same amount of wins as this guy.
You guys, the Commanders are minus 104. The Chargers are plus 11.
For what?
Point differential.
Point differential.
In the league.
No, I'm just saying.
All of that.
I think Justin Herbert is playing with probably a worse defense at this point. You can't be a Vern. You can't be a plus 11. Vern, you can't be a plus 11 and still have a losing record.
Yes, you can, because when you only score 10 points against the Ravens, that's how you do it.
Vern, I'm gonna give you. Hold on. I'm gonna give you some other examples right here. Plus 11 is better than the Colts, who are 6-5.
Because Justin Herbert.
Hold on. Plus 11 is better than the Packers, who are 5-6. Plus 11 is better than the Seahawks, who are 6-6. Like a plus 11, you're supposed to be winning some of these games.
Justin Herbert's ass.
He's ass.
I wouldn't go that far.
You want to go against one? You want to go against they should have won? You want to talk about the game?
If Justin Herbert is ass, then Sam Howell is rectum.
I just say, listen.
You want to talk about the game?
I think hold on. I'm just saying. I think Justin Herbert is underperformed. I've said it several times. There was opportunities to win some games late, but when you look at the overall scenario, they're plus 11. There's no reason that at plus 11 the Chargers are 4-7. When you look at the team like the Colts, you asked me yourself. You was like, "How are the Colts winning games?"
Yeah,
the Colts are a plus 1, and the Colts have a winning record.
Right.
The Packers have a minus point differential, and yet are 5-6. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the defense on another team is just a little better
because your quarterback cannot make the plays when necessary. When you're at that situation, it comes down to certain drives. In that Ravens game, you saying Herbert couldn't have won that game? You saying Herbert couldn't have won that game?
They had opportunities. Yeah, they had opportunities.
What happened in that game? Herbert did not look sharp. Herbert did not look good. Herbert was missing people. Okay.
But if we're gonna say that,
what I'm saying is,
hold on. But if we're gonna say that though, Vern, then what happened in the Lions game when they put up 38 points?
Herbert in that game, they all had opportunities to seal the deal.
And what happened?
Defense gave up 41 points.
Yeah, that's fine. Sam,
all right.
Okay.
Hold on. So if we're gonna use that hypothetical, what happened in the Dolphins game when the Chargers scored 34 points?
Defense was trash. I give you that. Defense was trash in that game.
Right.
But
I mean,
so you gonna put that on Herbert?
All I'm saying is that there has not been a time where our defense has held 18 to 13 points, and we lost that game. There's not one game. You can't find it. You cannot find it.
I gave up 14 to the Giants and lost.
Huh?
Yeah, I gave up 14 to the Giants and lost.
13.
Now we being specific about 13 points.
We beat the Giants. I don't know why we can't beat the Giants. I don't know why we can't beat the Giants. I don't know.
That's why I'm over here snacking on chips. I'm not even dealing with this bullshit.
Well, like I said, if you're going to convince me that this quarterback is so much better than mine, you cannot say it and say he has.
Come on, Vern.
You know what, Vernon? You know what? You got Vernon. You probably got the pool counselor. I challenge you to petition every team in the league and ask them who they'd rather have at quarterback, Justin Herbert or Sam Howell.
People
Well,
do this all the
And
time.
then they're going.
I think this week we'll get a good gauge because when the Chargers played the Dolphins, the Chargers lost 36-34.
Mhm.
Herbert had a good game. You get the Dolphins this week that are a little banged up because they don't have Jalen Phillips.
They got Jalen Ramsey though, who's changed their defense drastically on the pass defense side. Look at the
Now, here go the excuses already.
All right, we'll hold on. We'll see a lot about Sam Howell this week because the Dolphins' pass rush is limited. They missing one of their better pass rushes.
Yeah,
They don't get to the quarterback the same.
We'll see. All I'm saying is this: if and you can't. There is nothing you can say to it. Only thing you can say is, "Oh, we got to come something else." If your quarterback is something better than mine, if the quarterback is the most important position on the field, we all agree.
Yeah.
There is no way your guy should have the same amount of wins as my guy. That's all I'm saying. If there's no way, like Mahomes, when Brady was playing, Lamar Jackson, all these quarterbacks that we say are great in the league or much better than Sam Howell without argument. All of them have significantly more wins than Sam Howell. All of them.
Well,
So
we're gonna see.
So you're going to say that?
This counselor Simpson. That's what I'm about to start calling him.
We're gonna wrap
Counselor Simpson, because you a fucking homer.
I'm not a homer.
Counselor Simpson.
All I see is Justin Herbert choking.
Listen, we're gonna wrap on that note. Fellas. I'm gonna see you guys next week. We're gonna see how the picks work out.
Tune in Sunday when you see my boy Justin Herbert choke against defense.
I will be live. Shout out to my brother Trip Young as well. We're gonna be live Sunday at 7 p.m. We're gonna discuss how the day went. We're gonna see how it works out. For Vernon Brown.
Hey, y'all doing the morning joint?
We're doing 7 p.m.
Right
before the late game comes on.
All right.
Hey, for Vernon Brownlee, for Will Gordon, I am Eric Sanchez. We are the Opinionated Ones, and we will see you guys next week. We out of here.
Vernon's on drugs.